Welcome to Now You Know BC. I'm Bob Kronbauer, also known as BC Bob. And on this show, I introduce you to interesting people, places to go, things to see, things that have happened in the past. You will hear our collective stories. This week, we're talking about some different riots that have taken place in our province over the years, events where mobs turned ugly and left a smear on our history. Completely senseless. None of them were good, but we can probably learn something from each one of them. So let's dig in. I'm bringing you the top 9 riots to ever take place in British Columbia. Well, maybe not the top riots, because riots are stupid and awful, but here are 9 notable riots from over the years. Number 9, the Guns N' Roses riot of 2012. Lead singer Axl Rose was a no-show to the GNR concert that took place at GM Place, and they canceled it at the last minute, and thousands of fans rioted, throwing things through the windows and summoning the SWAT team. When they played here again in 2011, Axl apologized for the no-show a decade earlier. Number 8, APEC in 1997. Now, this wasn't really a riot, but basically just a protest where the RCMP decided they wanted to crack some heads. World leaders came to a meeting of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation at UBC, and the RCMP ended up using excessive force to deal with the protesters who had blocked the roadways. If you've ever seen the clip of Nardwar asking the Prime Minister about the use of pepper spray after this happened, let's just play the clip.
Do you think, though, that mace equals freedom? Some of the protesters were maced.
What do you say?
Some of the protesters were maced. Does mace equal freedom? Would you have been maced yourself back then, Prime Minister Chrétien?
But I don't know what you mean by that.
A mace, pepper spray, some other members.
Oh, but I don't know. This technique did not exist in those days. For me, pepper, I put it on my plate. Next.
Number 7, the MC Hammer riot of 1991. This one happened after an MC Hammer concert in Penticton. That's pretty much all it had to do with MC Hammer. He did not cause the riot, but it was at an annual event known as Peachfest, when drunken fools rioted and rolled the iconic giant peach into Okanagan Lake. The peach has served as an ice cream stand for decades, and it's still there today. If you go there, please don't try and tip it over. Number 6, Vancouver's anti-Asian riots of 1907. These were absolutely the worst. Asian folks were assaulted, businesses were vandalized over 3 days in Chinatown, thanks largely to a racist organization called the Asian Exclusion League. They were unhappy with immigration from China, Japan, and Southeast Asia, and one of the most shameful results of these riots was that they actually resulted in a temporary ban on immigration from Japan. Number 5, the Gastown riot of 1971. After weeks of police issuing tickets for drug possession, a group of about 2,000 people gathered at what they called a smoke-in support of the legalization of cannabis. Shortly before this, cops had been issued riot batons, which they, of course, used on the peaceful protesters. 79 people were arrested, 38 were charged, and these days there's a massive piece of Stan Douglas art at the Woodwards building, just a couple blocks from where the riot happened, that recreates the scene. You should go see it if you haven't already. Number 4, the Rolling Stones riot of 1972. The band kicked off their North American tour in Vancouver at Pacific Coliseum, and somebody had sold a whole bunch of fake tickets to the show, which ended up hundreds of people were locked out of the show. So things got out of hand, 31 cops were injured, 22 people were arrested. Number 3, the BC Penitentiary riot of 1963. CKNW radio host Jack Webster was called in to negotiate with inmates at the BC Pen in New Westminster after they started a riot. A couple hundred inmates smashed stuff, held a guard hostage with a shiv, and they wanted to speak to either Prime Minister Lester Pearson or Webster. The PM wasn't available, so Webster brokered a deal with the inmates, which ended the riot. Numbers 2 and 1, the 1994 and 2011 Canucks riots. Our hockey team lost in the finals. The city and the police were not properly prepared, and some idiots broke a bunch of stuff. My guest this week directed a documentary about the 2011 riot, so we'll learn a lot more about it later in the episode. Also, in our Pieces of History segment at the museum this week, we're going to show you two pieces of actual pieces of both of these riots. So stay tuned for those, and now you know.